In the Shadow of the Favorited Son by Dumisani, age 29, I learned very early that I was living in someone else's light. Growing up in Fort Loris, in a modest home with sun-bleached curtains and a constant smell of my mother's simmering oxtail stew, I was the second son. Second in everything. Second born, second best, second thought. Themba was the golden child, my older brother by 3 years. Everything he touched turned to applause. He was school captain, top of his class, the one teachers pointed to when they said, "Be like him." When he got a scholarship to study civil engineering at Vets University, there was a party so loud the neighbors had to call the police. I, on the other hand, was good with my hands, not books. I liked to fix things, lawnmowers, broken toasters, anything. My father, Baba, often looked at me like I was useful but not impressive. Mama tried to make it fair, but even her prayers seemed to say, "Let Dumisani find his way too." I didn't want to be like Themba, I just wanted to be seen. After varsity, Themba joined Baba's small construction company, Dumisani Buildworks. Baba started it with 2 wheelbarrows and a pickup truck in the 80s, building homes in the East Rand. Over time, it grew into a decent operation, a crew of 20 men, 5 trucks, and contracts with 3 municipalities. Nothing flashy, but solid, reliable. A family legacy. When I finished my technical certificate in project management, I joined too. I was happy to start from the bottom. I didn't mind the dust, the long hours, or the back-breaking site work. What I did mind was how everyone treated me like Themba's assistant. If I suggested an idea, it got ignored, until Themba said the same thing. Then it became gospel. Baba called me boy, even though I was 24. He called Themba boss, even though I did more of the heavy lifting. Still, I stayed, because family, because loyalty, because maybe, just maybe, I could earn my place. Themba had big plans. He talked about expanding into Limpopo, bidding for government tenders, hiring more staff. It all sounded good, ambitious even. But I noticed something strange in his paperwork. Invoices that didn't line up, machinery leased at inflated rates, suppliers we'd never heard of. When I raised it, Baba said I was being paranoid. "You think your brother would steal from us, huh? He's the one with a degree. You still have paint on your shoes." I backed down, again. Then came the Mbizo contract, a R3.2 million municipal road resurfacing deal in Tembisa. Themba led the project. I handled logistics, but things went sideways quickly. Materials ran short, delays mounted, and suddenly the budget vanished. Clients got angry, workers went unpaid. Themba blamed me. He underordered, he miscalculated, he told Baba, wagging a folder full of doctored reports. I stood there speechless as Baba called me a disgrace, in front of staff, in front of family. I was fired from the company I helped build. No hearing, no explanation, just a plastic bag of my tools and a silence that rang louder than words. For weeks, I didn't get out of bed. I sat in my one-room flat in Germiston, staring at the ceiling, wondering if I'd really messed up. Maybe I was useless. Maybe Themba really was the only son that mattered. But rock bottom has this strange way of clearing your eyes. One day, I looked in the mirror and said, "No one's coming to save you." I wiped my tears, put on my work boots, and started hustling. I borrowed 7,000 Rand from a friend, Cabello, a guy I once helped fix a generator, and printed flyers. Dumafix Construction, reliable, affordable, local. I handed them out at hardware stores, taxi ranks, even funeral parlors. I offered painting, paving, and small renovations. No job too small, no ego too big. My first client was an elderly woman named Man Tombi. She wanted her leaking bathroom redone. I did it in 4 days. She paid me 2,000 Rand and gave me 5 more referrals. From there, it snowballed. Every cent I made, I reinvested. New tools, a baccy, uniforms. I hired 2 guys, then 5. In 2 years, Dumafix was doing school renovations in Katlahong. In 3 years, we had secured our first government tender, fair and square. In 5 years, I had 32 employees, an office in Boxburg, and my own fleet. Then one morning, my cousin Tato, a junior accountant at Dumisani Buildworks, called me. "Bro, it's bad." "What's bad?" "Themba, the auditors came, missing funds, tax evasion, fraud." My heart didn't leap, it sank. Because as much as I should have felt vindicated, all I felt was sadness. My brother, my blood. But karma doesn't ask for your permission. SARS froze their accounts. The municipality blacklisted them. Creditors came knocking. Eventually, Dumisani Buildworks was forced into liquidation. Everything. Trucks, equipment, land, even the name went up for auction. I sat quietly in the back row on auction day, wearing a plain black hoodie. Nobody noticed me. Lot 7, all business assets and branding of Dumisani Buildworks Construction. The opening bid was 50,000 rand. I raised my hand. When the gavel slammed, I owned the company that once threw me out like a used brick. I didn't gloat. I didn't make speeches. I didn't even call Baba. I just went back to work. Over the next few months, I merged what was left of Dumisani Buildworks into Dumafix. I rehired the old workers who hadn't been paid in months. I paid them up front. I gave their kids school shoes. I put fuel in their tanks. Word spread. Clients came back. We rebranded as Dumi Build, built from truth. One day, at the site of a library we were building in Davyton, I saw Baba standing near the fence. His beard was grayer now, shoulders stooped. He didn't wave. He just stood and watched. I walked over. "Dumi," he said, voice cracking. "Your brother, he's in rehab." I nodded. "You've done well," he added, barely above a whisper. For the first time, I didn't need his approval. I nodded again and said, "Thanks for coming." Now at 29, I no longer live in anyone's shadow. I built my own light. Sometimes I still think of Themba, how easily brilliance can become blindness. He had everything handed to him, and he dropped it all trying to stay on top. I had nothing, and made it everything. People often ask me what drives me. It's simple. I know what it feels like to be unseen, to have your worth questioned, to have your name whispered like an afterthought. But now, when they say Dumisani, they say it with respect. Not the other brother, not the second son, just me.